for watching my YouTube channel. I'm totally stoked about this new series because I just got back from Israel, spent a couple weeks in Israel, and had an amazing experience for many days, getting to tour around, see biblical sites and all this. So I was really inspired. I was like, hey, why don't we do a series, like in so many words, preparing for Easter, a series leading up to Easter, and look at some of the biblical sites and kind of explore that and see what that looks like all the way up to Easter. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a series, starting a series today on preparing for Easter, looking at biblical locations and seeing how it integrates with modern day sites and locations. So today we're looking at Nazareth. And in a little bit, you're going to see a picture that I shot. And this is actually a house, if you will. It looks kind of like a little bit of a hovel, if you will. But it's a house, one of the typical houses of that era. And immediately next to this little hovel house, you'll see up a little bit above the hole in the ground, which is kind of like a cave. You'll see there above that was Joseph's house, and off to the right was Mary's house. And this is where Jesus grew up, in Nazareth. And it's interesting because when you read about Nazareth in John chapter 1, when Jesus is calling disciples, Peter, Andrew, and Nathanael, Nathanael hears about Jesus, and Nathanael says in verse 48, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" And I like that because when you go to Nazareth and you see kind of the context, this is at that Jesus time, this was this little tiny blip on the map. It wasn't included really in the census that was taken at the time, the counting of the population. It's just a little blip, not a huge city, not notorious, not famous, not any of that. Just a common, really backwater little town. And that's where Jesus grew up. And I just want to encourage you today. It says this in Zechariah 4, verse 10, "Don't despise small beginnings." And sometimes we look at our environment, we look around us, we look at what's going on, and I think a lot of times, especially in America, we have this idea that it's got to be big and grandiose and all kinds of visibility to be important and significant and impactful. And the truth of it is, a lot of the things that we do start small. And who's to say how big they get or what impact they have? But they seem to start small. And Jesus grew up in this town, in Nazareth. Small little town, backwaters. Nobody recognized it as anything noteworthy. In fact, Nathanael's like kind of poo-pooing this small little town. But the truth of it is, the Son of God grew up there, played in the streets, goofed around with the kids, his neighbors and all this. And he started off just with regular, common, normal day-to-day upbringing. And I just encourage you today that Jesus is in even the small. Even what seems mundane and daily and maybe possibly boring to you, Jesus can be in all of that. And Jesus can bring good things, if you will, out of small beginnings. So don't despise small things, early steps, beginning and learning and growing. Say, hey, this is all part of the process, all part of the journey, because all of it is an integral part of God's divine design and big picture. So be encouraged, keep your eyes on God, and don't despise small beginnings. I'd love to get some feedback from you on this. Of course, you could share it with your friends. Fantastic if you'd subscribe, give me thumbs up, feedback. Hey, we like this. Hey, Sarah, you ought to do that. So thank you so much for watching. And, of course, we have to finish with our joke. And here's your joke for today. Why don't skeletons play church music? Why don't skeletons play church music? Because they have no organs. I know, it's pretty bad, but I'll catch you next week for an even, quote, better joke. Thanks again.